Ever since I started doing this show, I've kind of gained a reputation as the Mega Man guy. Well, I mean, look at how many Mega Man reviews I've done. But today we're talking about something a little different, but still Mega Man related. Today we're going to be looking at a different kind of Blue Bomber. One more recent, but taken from the same mind that brought us the classic franchise. The game we're talking about today I've been dying to get my hands on, and because of the embarrassingly high amount of money I put into the game's development, I finally get to try a little slice of this side-scrolling shooter platforming goodness. Ladies, gentlemen, and others, I'm Zeromaster. Welcome to Zero's Maverick Hunting, and today we're taking a look at the Mighty No. 9 beta. I'm sure you all know the story now behind Mighty No. 9, so I'll keep it brief. Keiji Inafune, the creator of Mega Man, launched a Kickstarter at PAX 2013 on a new game project that would go back to his roots in game design, as well as add new ideas to improve it. What was born was Mighty No. 9, a new take on a classic genre heavily inspired by Mega Man. After the failure of the Mega Man Legends 3 project, Inafune felt somewhat responsible, saying he wanted to make something truly special with the game, but it never came to light, and that Mighty No. 9 was his attempt to not only make up for the failures, but to revisit an old idea with a new twist. In only a month, Mighty No. 9 surpassed its $900,000 Kickstarter goal 5 times over, giving his company Concept and the developer Inti Creates a large resource to draw from. In addition, Concept used Kickstarter to interact with the fans, running contests, getting feedback on designs, and showing general progress on the game. Which leads us to today, a year after the Kickstarter launch. We now have the Mighty No. 9 beta. Now, for this video, it's going to be less of a review and more of a first impressions. Keep in mind, this is just a beta, a version of the game in early development stages, so anything can change from now until the final product. So take any of my criticisms with a bucket of salt. That being said, let's begin. To start, this is a beta, so there's no story to speak of. There is some dialogue in the game, but it doesn't really explain much without having more pieces of the narrative, so I won't be talking about them. Before playing the game, you're given some tips on how the game is played. Since there is no manual, being a beta and all, this serves as a tutorial or instruction manual to explain the basics of how to play the game. You can also access the options and adjust your graphic capabilities. Just a heads up, I was running this game on my laptop, and its graphical capabilities are good, but not great. As such, most of the footage is of me playing the game on the low settings, so I could have the game run at a solid 60 frames. But as you'll see, it really doesn't matter. The only playable stage in the beta is the military base, which houses Mighty No. 5 as the boss. Once a stage has been selected, the game will start. To begin, let's talk about the controls. I was using an Xbox 360 controller for playing the beta, so I'll refer to those controls. The controls work simply, like they do in other Mega Man games. A is for jumping, X is for shooting the buster, and the right bumper is for using the dash. I'll admit, at first I was not a fan of the bumper being set as dash, as I grew up on Mega Man X, so I would have preferred the B button to be used for the dash, but I eventually got used to it. However, it hurt my hands after an hour or so. The gameplay is akin to both classic Mega Man and Mega Man X. Beck can dash, air dash, to what seems like infinitely, and dash under certain ledges like Mega Man Slide. However, his buster cannot charge and he cannot wall climb like X can, but he can grab onto ledges to pull himself up. Speaking of the dash, it is used for Beck's special ability, Cell Absorption. When an enemy has been damaged enough, Beck can dash into them and absorb energy, which usually results in a power-up. Powers include flaming bullets that can pierce through enemies or objects, speed boosts, and shields to name a few. While I like this new mechanic, it started to get annoying. See, you can use the dash if you weaken the enemies, but weakening them to the point of absorption doesn't mean they're not a threat. In order to defeat them in this state, you have to dash into them or shoot them till they die. At first, I was really using this mechanic until it started getting me killed, so I eventually just said screw it, I'll just beat the enemies the old-fashioned way. To the game's credit, you don't have to use the new mechanics, but it does provide some benefits, emphasis on some. Other criticisms include lack of health power-up drops from enemies, so I would constantly die on parts I should have no problem with because I was trying to use the new mechanics as much as possible. It's probably because I was really excited to play the game and was less concentrated on my health, but it still was annoying. Not to mention the lack of recovery time when the spikes are involved. Seriously, this isn't Mega Man 1, guys. It turns out if you die too much, the game's way of helping out is the equivalent of Eddie bringing you some health power-ups, including the game's version of an E-Tank. I also noticed that Beck doesn't have as much control in the air as Mega Man does. Inafune keeps saying Beck is the superior robot compared to Mega Man, so I hope these are things the team is considering fixing, because so far, Mega Man is looking like the much better built robot here, and would probably kick Beck's ass if they ever faced off. Lastly, this game is crazy difficult. Again, it could be my lack of understanding of the game mechanics, or my pure excitement for finally getting to play the game, but it felt much harder than most of the Mega Man games, which is both a good and bad thing. The good is because it means the game can't be beaten in a night without practice, but it's bad because for new players to those type of games, it can seem unforgiving. Thankfully, the robot helper who brings you health is a nice touch and a much better way to help gamers than the "here, let me beat the level for you" feature I see in a lot of newer platformers. Overall, the gameplay has its problems, but it's solid and fun, and it excites me for the finished product. The level design is really well done. Many sections have those classic Mega Man moments, while others really get you into the new mechanics, or challenge you. The game even implements helping from other mighty numbers who have been already fixed, I guess. It's very reminiscent of Mega Man X, where defeating one boss may affect another stage. Speaking of bosses, the boss battle against Mighty No. 5 is tough, but for good reasons. The development team has really improved the classic patterns to Mega Man boss battles and made it so you really have to pay attention, even more so than ever, or suffer defeat. My only gripe with the boss battles is that cell absorption is mandatory, and that's a real shame, but it makes sense. Not to mention, the finishing cell absorption looks like Beck doing his best impression of a data drain from Dot Hack. Yeah. These improvements make me very hopeful for the future of the game, and I hope this continues into the final product. The graphics are fantastic and are smooth. Even running the game on the low setting to compensate for my computer's hardware, it still looks amazing. The textures are smooth and the bloom is a respectable amount. Backgrounds and characters alike are animated well and fit the overall graphic tone. Beck has a good amount of animation and is also detailed very well. When this game is finished, I should have a better PC, as well as I'll be getting it on Wii U, so I'll be able to compare the graphics a lot better in the future. Sound-wise, all the sounds are perfect. The sound effects match the characters and setting, and the music is freaking awesome. My only complaint sound-wise is that by default, not all the audio is leveled all that well, but hey, that can easily be fixed. Before I end off this review, being a beta, I should mention the few glitches I encountered. Something to keep in mind here is most of these glitches were encountered while I was live streaming the game, so the added latency to my computer could have added to the issue. The first glitch I encountered was Mighty No. 5 getting stuck in the wall. I was still able to shoot him for a while until I had to do a cell absorption on him, which made him even more stuck in the wall, and at that point I had to have him kill me. The second glitch is when I went to use an item, and the game froze. Fun. Lastly, after restarting the game, I got an error when trying to enter the level again. Keep in mind, these glitches and errors only happen to me once each, so they're minor so far. I am also aware of the glitches others are having with the beta, but it's a beta, so that's expected. For the most part, the game runs rather well, just some minor glitches to fix. Overall, Mighty No. 9's beta is very fun. It gets me even more hyped for the finished game. While it has its issues, they can be easily fixed, and I'm sure I'm not the only one who's expressed those concerns. Regardless, Mighty No. 9 is awesome so far, and I can't wait to play and review the full game when it's released. Well, this was a fun distraction. Time to get back to work. See you next time. Before I go, I just want to let everybody know, this is my Halloween review this year, and it's not coming out till after Halloween. Reasons being, I'm putting a lot more effort into the Halloween review this year, so you should expect something bigger. Don't worry, I know you're all going to enjoy it. Anyways, take it away, Enslate. Thank you very much, OnScreen Zero. Hey guys, this is Enslate Zero. It'd really help me out if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Zeromaster Reviews, like me on Facebook, Zeromaster fan page, and follow me on Twitter, @Zeromaster. And hey, go ahead and check out RiverCityGamers.com for more great content, not just from myself, but from many other great content reviewers. And if you got some more free time, check out 2 more reviews of mine. The first one here we got on the left is of my Mega Man 9 and 10 comparison review. 2 great games by Inti Creates, and they're Mega Man. And on the other one here is my previous episode of Zero's Maverick Hunting, which is on Legacy of the Wizard, an NES game that is, well, interesting. You'll see. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next episode.